Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Helms, and this is RTA Podcasts, a series of podcasts provided to you by the Google Retail Training Team. On this episode, I'll be talking to Gene Lanois from the Pro Sales team here at Google. We'll be talking about how Nest can help grow your pro business. So, Gene, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Michael.
Do you want to do just a quick intro, sort of who you are, where you came from? I think that'd be great.
Appreciate it. I lead the pro channel for Google Nest and started off with Nest when it was a startup. Early days, I was actually one of Nest's very first customers, and then later joined in 2013 and was here when it got acquired by Google. And prior to that, I got introduced to Nest. I was actually part of the launch, but on a customer side. So Nest was my product responsibility. And so I got to be part of that in the launch. And even going beyond that, years ago, I was in the HVAC industry owning my own business. So I've had a chance to be a pro. I've had a chance to work on the manufacturer side, and I've had a chance to work in the wholesale distribution side. So yeah, it's just been an amazing, amazing ride. So even to sit here and get a chance to record a podcast for pros just shows how far it's come.
What do you think is the primary reason that pros out there should be thinking about adding Google Nest products to their portfolio?
For us, I think the word that we almost wear out sometimes is incremental. When you think about somebody who has identified themselves as, I'm in the HVAC industry, or I'm a security professional, or I'm a custom integrator, for the most part, that tends to draw a box around the business, and it says this is what I do. But there's crossovers with smart home, right? If you're a plumber, you can still sell water heaters and fix garbage disposals or unclog drains. But now with the smart home business, you can get into leak detection and help a customer identify and know and maybe shut off their main water valve. That's a great example of a space that we're not in. We have some great integrations with leak detection companies. But even as a plumber, you can be in the smart home business, and it doesn't take away from your business. If you're in the HVAC business, we've got a thermostat for you. Fits right in. And that thermostat can make you comfortable enough in the smart home business.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting the way you say that, because it's not necessarily you become now a smart home plumber and it changes your core business, or you're now a smart home HVAC pro and you've got to stop doing everything you were doing before. It's an additional capability that you're able to offer.
Yeah, and eventually I think you get to a point where because of your exposure, you naturally will extend yourself into that category. So you could be Michael Helms HVAC and smart home if you want to be. But the thing is that we're going to enable you to be in that business quick, simple, fast, and reliable. We've got a great brand. There's no question on brand. In order to have our great brand, you have to have great quality. So we fit those two things. But as a pro, the last thing that you want is to install a product that doesn't work. And A, it gives you a black eye with the customer, but B, it costs you money. If there's anything that we have to lean on, it's, hey, we've got great quality products. They install fast and you're not going to have a callback.
HVAC seems like it's pretty seasonal. You're going to have your periods that are really high and then some periods that probably aren't as high unless you're doing some break fix or something like that. Is that where you see some of that incrementality? Do you think that's a real benefit out there?
In the HVAC business, you would call that shoulder season. Right. And so the last thing you want to do as an owner is be sitting in your office, turn around and look at your parking lot and see, multiple vans or trucks that aren't out at people's homes earning money. Those things are costing you money then. So smart home absolutely helps you streamline out some seasonality. Think about most of these businesses within a trade, with the exception of maybe custom integration, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, security even. A lot of these are distress situations. You're waiting for a call for something to break, right? And so you've really got to be there at that moment. I think smart home helps smooth out some of that.
You had mentioned sort of custom integrator maybe being immune to some of that. Again, this is from the outside looking in. Is there a world where with custom integrators, you say, yeah, we do these big sales, but because of the size of them, our market's kind of limited. So we're not going to be doing those every day. And for some people, maybe not every week or two. It seems like you could have some real lulls just finding your customers and figuring out what their solution is going to be. And then you've got to acquire all your gear because you may not have all of that on site since so many things are customized.
Yeah, there's not necessarily a huge line of $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 jobs sitting around all the time, but there are obviously a lot of people that are very interested in a thermostat installed for $300, and so I think that is where we help keep those labor forces busy, attract new talent, and still be incremental. You can't look at everything as earning the same profitability across the board, but yeah, we're incremental to everyone's business.
So it's cool that there are so many different areas and different kinds of businesses that can be involved in this and can get those incremental sales that you're talking about. I'd love to hear just a story or two about somebody that's had that experience and what, maybe it's done for their business.
We've got a company up in the Northeast. They started off as a indoor air quality company. And of course, if you're messing around with indoor air quality, energy savings is kind of an easy place to go. And so thermostats with the Nest Learning thermostat was an easy place to go. And where they started off with that one product, they ended up actually having that start to expand into the other products. So it really wasn't a far leap to do a doorbell. It wasn't a far leap to do an outdoor camera. Nest Protect from an indoor air quality standpoint, where you're able to monitor carbon monoxide, know whether or not, you've got smoke or a fire in the house. That was a natural area. And for them, it literally ended up changing their focus, where now smart home is the main part of their business. They're still in the indoor air quality business, but they even changed the name of their company to incorporate smart home versus indoor air quality. We've got a great partner up in Toronto that specifically was in the heating and cooling business. And they have changed the name of their company as well, just to revolve around smart home, because the opportunity, it was so much easier for them to get into homes and get consumer interest utilizing smart home technology versus their very reliable, trustworthy, and very important legacy trade business. Not taking anything away from that, right? But having that foundation allowed them to start to participate in the smart home business. And they quickly realized, hey, this gets us into a lot more homes. We're having a lot more interaction with customers, and we can still keep doing this other piece in the background. It's not one product anymore. There's so many different integrations and cool things and routines that you can make happen that people are looking for multiple products, and they want that to just be done and installed for them. And so I think that's one of the biggest opportunities that we see for pros.
You've got the audience who wants this, both hardware and these services are the ones that we can go after now. But then also it seems like, you'd mentioned routines and this fact that people want this stuff done for them a lot of times really, again, lends itself super well to that pro mentality, where not only can they come in and do something, but they can install it and they can set it up and they can get customers up and running and really have that differentiated experience on the back end for the customer.
If you're a pro, you're thinking about being in smart home, you're not too late. Like, you're still at the early beginning, but this thing is ramping up so quickly. There's estimations from Parks Associates that, by 2021, you're going to have close to 500 million devices in smart home connected in people's homes. There aren't very many opportunities that come around like that within business. So I think, if you've got an interest point, you're not too late. You're still capable of hopping on that tidal wave.
Yeah. And looking at those 500 million products that we're talking about there, a lot of those are going to go into some of the same homes. We're hopefully not looking at one home, one product, and then you're done. It is going to be something that sort of builds within the home. Can you tell some stories about how those products do work together? How, having two products is better than one, three is better than two, and what that means?
Integrations, I think, are one of the most exciting pieces of smart home. Having one device become larger and better in its feature set due to the fact that you've got another device that is working with it. Some simple examples would be the Nest Hello doorbell. That product itself is awesome. Somebody rings the doorbell, you can see who it is, you can get a person alert, you can get a motion alert if you want. You can see that your package has been delivered. Those are all great. Have that along with a Nest Hub where you've got a screen device also inside the home. And let's say you're in the kitchen and somebody rings the doorbell, you're not having to look for your phone to see who it is before you go to the door. That can show up right on your Nest Hub. And so it's super convenient. Being able to have a lighting control or a light that comes on automatically through a voice command. Those are the aha moments, I think, within smart home that make consumers say, I want to keep on adding on to this. This is cool. It's making my life easier, more convenient.
And then you can talk about some of those things like the Nest Hub and its ability to have routines where you're walking out the door, you give one command, it adjusts your thermostat, it turns off your lights.
For sure.
It can adjust smart fans, work with outlets that you have throughout the home, and really give that customer that really easy sort of integration and interaction with their home.
When you do some of those simple things, that is what makes a consumer want to add on more. So for the pro, there's a lot of runway for business to continue. You're selling a thermostat with a new HVAC system. Nest Protect works really great with the Nest Learning thermostat. If there was ever a carbon monoxide smoke or fire, it'll automatically shut off that HVAC system. You don't want to blow the smoke around the house. It could be the source of carbon monoxide, and you don't want to feed oxygen to it. So let's shut that system down. The fact that, you've got that safety device integrating so nicely with another device, that's an aha moment. It's a magic moment for consumer.
A group that we haven't jumped into very much are the custom integrators.
Yeah.
They're used to these big systems. What would you tell a custom integrator who's interested in something like this, or maybe considering but not yet interested in something like this?
I guess there would be a few different things, and the custom integration business is a great business for us. We have great integrations with the different home automation platforms, and we don't take away from that whatsoever. We're, again, an incremental piece. Our thermostat can integrate into a lot of the different ecosystem from a home automation platform category, and people still want simple ways to do things around their home.
Yeah, so it's really, again, going back to that idea of incrementality.
I feel like I wear that word out, but it's true.
And so if somebody is looking to get into it, what kind of resources, where would you direct somebody who's looking at getting involved?
The simplest way is go to pro.nest.com. That's the first place to start as a pro. You sign up there. You're going to answer a couple basic questions. From there, we'll send you an approval as long as you're a legit contractor. We want to make sure that we've got good customer experiences happening with great companies. But we've also got massive wholesale distribution partners. So to any pro that's listening, whether or not you're an electrician, you're a security contractor, you're a custom integrator, you're an HVAC, you name it, your wholesale partner where you buy a lot of your traditional items, they've got access to all of the Google Nest product as well. So you can start at your wholesaler if you got some really good relationships there too.
Great. Well, Gene, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, and we always love when we get to talk to you. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, Michael.
For everybody who's listening, really appreciate it as well. Be on the lookout for more of these podcasts. We are looking to make sure we're bringing you the most up-to-date and best information for you and the pro audience out there. So everybody have a great day, and thanks a lot.